months ahead of the game.
Honestly, we never take these games lightly because, it's still an NFL game no matter who's out. It's the same feeling that I go throughout a regular week throughout the season. So I'm taking it very, very seriously. I don't know how many plays I'm going to play, but, every rep counts for me.
Kickoff is set for noon tomorrow, and the Timberwolves announcing they will retire Kevin Garnett's number 21 jersey next February 28th. It'll follow the Timberwolves game against the Boston Celtics on NBC's Sunday Night Basketball at Target Center. WCCO News Time is 3:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Finding some slowdowns on 169 southbound 494 as you head down to Anderson Lakes Parkway. We got some activity off to the right shoulder. It looks like it may be just a stall, but it is definitely helping slow things down. 35W northbound slows right through downtown Minneapolis as you head up toward Hennepin Avenue. Highway 36 eastbound, not too bad of a ride right now as you make the run between 35W and 35E. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by the Canopy Group. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Most will stay dry, but we will have a few isolated showers possible into the night tonight, dropping back to about 68. Now, tomorrow, there could be some scattered showers in the morning. I think we'll be dry for a good chunk of the day with another round of scattered showers possible later in the afternoon. Again, many will stay dry. 81 the afternoon high tomorrow. Sunday, the nicer looking day, partly cloudy with a high near 82.
Mostly cloudy right now, 81 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The app that informs, the app that entertains. The only app you need for streaming, podcasting, and more is the Odyssey app for News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
Guilty. Luigi Mangione, one of the most outrageous, brazen murders just in broad daylight in New York City. The Minnesota father of two from Maple Grove, the healthcare executive. A small amount of justice today, but still questions. It's Drive Time. Glad to have you with us. Jason here with Dan. I cannot believe that there are still idiots out there who are standing up saying that they defend what Luigi Mangione did. They understand why he did what he did. They defend him. Luigi Mangione sat in court, spoke in his own words today, pleading guilty to 2 federal counts, and admitted that not only was he just overcome with anger at the health insurance industry, and look, a lot of Americans are pissed off at the health insurance industry. It was in Laura's news just a minute ago. DFL candidate for governor Amy Klobuchar saying she's, going to re-envision the healthcare system in the state of Minnesota, partially because people are mad. We are a country where the health insurance industry drives our care. And they can give you all the reasoning of we're trying to use the money in the best way to make sure that outcomes are good. And I understand it. And there is no perfect way to pay for the increasingly specialized and detailed and ongoing and expensive care. But to defend someone who 3D printed a gun, pretended to be an investor reaching out to United Healthcare to get information on this meeting in New York City, stalked Brian Thompson, and then executed him on the street. You've lost your mind. Today, in a way, changes nothing. We knew he did it. He was saying he was not guilty, but he also was not saying it wasn't me. So a lot of this didn't change. A lot of this didn't change today. I am surprised that there are still people defending Luigi Mangione. There are lots of legal issues around this, and I want to bring in our legal analyst on WCCO Radio, criminal defense attorney Joe Tamburino, who's been analyzing this case, watching what's been going on. There are a lot of legal issues to talk about, including Luigi Mangione saying, because I pled guilty, the state murder trials, I don't want to hear it. That's double jeopardy. You can't try me when I've already pled guilty to this. We'll get into that in a minute. But first, after the delay, after trying to say not guilty, why do you think Luigi Mangione pled guilty today?
Well, thanks for having me on, Jason. Probably because it's the end of the road. The defense attorneys have probably had all of the discovery, which means all of the proffered evidence. They've gone over the statements, the videos, everything. They've talked to their client, I'm sure, numerous times, and they probably decided there's really no way out. They started with all different things, mental illness, defense, all these kind of things. But then you get to the end of the road and this is it.
Is there a calculus where maybe he's pleading guilty to the federal charges, thinking that's better than pleading guilty to the state murder charges? He didn't plead guilty to murder exactly today.
That's right. Well, it's so funny you mention that because that could be part of the calculus, because everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but a number of people are saying, well, if he's convicted in federal court, double jeopardy, how can they get him in state court? Well, they actually can. New York State has a very unique double jeopardy law that gives more protection to the defendant than most states. However, if you get convicted in federal court and New York State court wants to prosecute you for the same killing, but under a different law. In New York, it's straight up intentional murder. With the feds, it's stalking, death as the result. They still can, because there are different elements to the crime, the crime's trying to prevent different types of harms, so you can do it. But that's definitely a calculus.
I don't love it, Joe. I don't love, over the last, 5 years, it seems like, we have all of these federal prosecutions for things that are obviously state crimes, murder. We know what the feds are doing. They want to have their trophy. We got a guilty, or maybe they want to have it be death penalty. It doesn't sit right to me. We have different court systems. Why not just let the states handle this stuff like we always used to?
Well, you're absolutely right. That's what we always used to do, except in today's world, for who knows what reason, there is a distrust between feds, state, sometime between state and local. It was only a couple of years ago that Governor Walz removed a couple of cases from the Hennepin County Attorney's Office and gave them to Keith Ellison, the AG, because presumably Governor Walz didn't think that the county attorney was doing a good job prosecuting them. Well, it's the same thing with the federal government. So for some reason, this has all come into play where, the feds, they don't obviously trust the locals much.
Yeah. Do you think it's distrust, or is it they want the credit?
Well, it could be both. You're right. It could be both. They want the credit. But normally, the way it went, I've been doing this 37 years. And for the first 35, 34 years, almost always the state would go first. Yeah. It really would. And then the feds would only pick it up if it was so egregious or there was a different law. The best case example of that are the Rodney King cops.
Sure.
In 1992, the 4 cops were acquitted in Los Angeles County, but then the feds came in with, the death as a result of civil rights violation, excessive force, and 2 out of the cops were convicted there. So you had some of these outlier cases, but for the most part, state would do what it did. Feds would usually respect it, and occasionally they would step in.
Joe Tamburino is with us. This was sad, really, to read the accounts of what Luigi Mangione said. The charge was stalking that resulted in death. To me, that sounds pretty close to a murder charge as well, right? But hearing that he did research. He reached out to United Health Group. He did have back pain. And he did have his own struggles with insurance, although I don't believe he was having troubles with United Health Group specifically. Do we lose something by not having a trial? We've talked about this in other cases. Right. I understand, like, you want the guilty, but, like, what was the extent of the stalking? Did United Health Group provide enough security? Did Mr. Thompson know that somebody was stalking him or after him? I have a lot of questions about, and certainly if I were upper management, not that anyone's crying for upper management of any company in this society today, but I would be concerned about what actually happened here.
You're absolutely right. And the bottom line is you always lose something in terms of transparency and facts when there is a plea deal rather than a trial. Because when you have a trial, the government, whether it's federal or state, has to come forth in an open courtroom, public. In state court, it could be televised, not in federal court, where you're going to get some answers. There's no doubt about it. I think you and I talked about this with the Vance Bolter case. Yeah. He pled guilty. You can't stop someone from pleading guilty. Now, most of the time with pleas of guilty, the government, state or federal, arrives at a plea agreement with you. Now, is that good to do? Yeah, in many situations, it certainly is. I can understand why the federal government said, look, Mr. Mangione, you want to plead guilty? Here's something. But however, we're still going for life in prison. You could argue for less, but the bottom line is he's going to get life in prison anyway.
Joe, it's still disgusting to me to see people, even after we get a little more detail on just how heartless and violent this act was, premeditated, pre-planned, stalking. There are still those who look at Luigi Mangione and say, like, well, he did the right thing. It's crazy.
It's crazy, deplorable, disgusting, unacceptable. You could use any terminology you want. And, unfortunately, social media in many regards is like the speedway ramp for crazies out there to say crazy things. And, that's where we are in society today. People, their super ego gets out there and they say things that I think if you sat down with them over a cup of coffee or a beer, they would never say. But it seems to be a conduit for some very vile and hateful speech.
We saw family members of Brian Thompson in the court today and outside the courtroom. Do federal prosecutors, do they consult with the victim's family before they offer this isn't much of a deal. He basically pled, I don't know what the deal is, but he pled guilty to the charges. But do they take that to the family usually?
Yes, there are victim right laws in state and federal court. And a victim or a victim's family, I should say, in this regard, can't tube a deal. They can't axe it. They can't say, I force you to not accept this deal. But they have to be consulted. They have to be given facts. They have to have input. Minnesota, for example, has a very strong victim rights statute. So both in federal and state, they do have to consult them.
No sentence today. He could get life, but will he get life, do you think?
I think he will because of some of the things that you just said. This would be a different case if someone intentionally murdered Mr. Thompson basically on almost the spur of the moment. Like say they, for whatever reason, they decided to kill this poor man. However, just with what Mr. Mangione admitted, that you're deciding to call up United Health, pretend to be an investor, get all this information, then go to New York City, and then make a gun.
He made the gun?
He made the gun.
3D printer.
Right. So,
bought a silencer, put it on there.
I don't see how you can not get death. Yeah. So I think he's going to,
or life. Yeah.
Not the death penalty's off the table. I don't see how you cannot get life.
Joe Tamburino, appreciate you. Thanks for coming in.
Anytime. Thank you.
So weigh in. You heard what Joe said. You heard my opening remarks about healthcare in America right now. Does this guilty verdict change anything for you? Your initial sympathy or empathy that maybe you had for Luigi Mangione, which, by the way, I think it's sick if you have sympathy or empathy for somebody who executed a man on the street in New York City. But has that changed if you were empathetic at first, hearing some of the details, hearing how premeditated it was? 651-461-9226, a small dose of justice for the family today. This is justice, no matter how mad you are at United Health Group or any other health insurance company. This idea that by killing someone, well, now I'm going to get change, or now I'm going to avenge the fact that coverage was denied. Like, where does this come from? Where does this come from? Drive Time with DeRusha, back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40 and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Levi is a 7-year member of LiUNA Local 563.
I'm proud to be a part of LiUNA, the Skilled Construction Laborers Union, earning good union wages and benefits for the work that I do. I'm one of the workers in the work zone as we repair and improve our most important infrastructure like roads, bridges, and city streets. Please slow down when you see orange cones and yellow vests. We're building a better Minnesota.
For career opportunities, visit buildthenorth.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 218-210-0674 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 218-210-0674 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 218-210-0674 for fast, easy, and affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 218-210-0674.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope. That's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference. Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Can you blow my mind? Set up my whole body.
651-461-9226. Your reaction today to a bit of a surprise. We had some sense yesterday that it was coming, that Luigi Mangione was going to plead guilty today to the federal charges. You heard me and Joe talk a little bit about how I do not really care for the fact that the federal government is charging everything. They're sort of wedging these gun crimes and murder crimes into various federal statutes like stalking or interstate gun trafficking, whatever. Just let the states prosecute murders, right? Like I don't know. If the result isn't significant enough or severe enough, fine, like then step in. But just this sort of nonsense, I don't care for it. Bob on Facebook says Luigi Mangione committed murder, a very wrong response to the menacing monstrosity of United Healthcare. Sean says free Luigi. I mean, there is that sentiment out there. There is that sentiment out there. And I do think, like, it's especially common with young people. And we've talked before, Dan, like, is there something different about the world today that has more young people willing to accept violence, even including murder, if they feel like it is a means to an end that is just?
I would hope not.
Because young people have always been like, you're young, you're more radical. Like, to me, I don't think that the vibe isn't different, but the extremeness to me is very different.
I would hope that, a lot of that silly, hashtag free Luigi kind of nonsense is just straight internet trolling.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, people donated all this money.
I think a fair percentage of it is just that.
Just that. Maybe.
But I do think it's worth, asking ourselves that question that, have we created such a tribalist society that we feel like violence is a perfectly reasonable reaction when we feel our tribe is being threatened? And I do think that younger folks do view corporations as threats, as non-human entities that are threatening freedom, threatening livelihood, threatening health in this case. I would still like to think that we're not at a point yet where violence is the automatic reaction, that's still very much the exception to the rule, but I can't say for sure it's not.
I mean, there was a poll done by Emerson College that found 41% of voters under the age of 30 found the killing, quote, acceptable. When an outfit called Generation Lab polled college students, 81% said they have an extremely or somewhat negative view of the victim. Boogeyman, healthcare executive. They also found that 45% of the respondents sympathize with Luigi Mangione. Only 17% said Thompson. About half said they view the killing totally or somewhat justified. I mean, to me, this is sick. It's sick. And I get the anger towards health insurance companies. And I get the idea that people say, well, this health insurance company declined coverage and my mom died, so they're killers too. Well, you're upset at the system that we do healthcare in this country. And I don't blame you. I am too. But the idea that you think that this is somewhat acceptable, like those numbers to me, Dan, are higher than I would expect if it were just trolling culture. But maybe trolling culture has crossed over into people's. I mean, that's when that, like, I'm a troll crosses over to, like, I think people under 30 really believe this.
Again, those numbers are worrisome for sure.
So big.
I do wonder, everybody's a warrior when they're behind a keyboard or getting a phone call. You can say whatever you want. When you're actually out living life, what are you willing to support or not support is a different deal. Again, I think those numbers are cause for concern. I'm just not sure I buy that all those people that are saying, oh yeah, no, this is justified, actually believe that. I think a lot of that comes out of, again, troll culture and just anger at the system, at the man.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll pick that up at 5 because I think the people genuinely believe it. They don't mean that they would be willing to do it. But if Luigi Mangione were freed, I do believe half of people under the age of 30 would be happy with it. They'd be happy with it. Which, I don't know. Am I just too old? Maybe. Maybe. It just, to me, it's like there's no justification for this. There just isn't. Jason, do you have any idea what will happen to the money that morons donated to Luigi's defense? I assume his defense has been very expensive and continues to be expensive. Charged in federal court, also charged in New York State court. And that case proceeds, even though his lawyers are trying to get it bounced for double jeopardy. There will be a sentencing hearing in December. I'm sure the money that was donated, I mean, there was a ton of money. It was more than $1 million he raised, right?
Somebody's asking about with the federal prosecution, does that mean there could be a pardon in the works for someone like this? I would find that very difficult to believe, given the relative politics of it, that the president would be interested in pardoning Luigi as opposed to siding with the CEO of a healthcare system.
Well, maybe a future president is what they're saying. I do think we have convinced ourselves that the president is going to use the pardon in a way to like enforce a political agenda, when really what we've seen is presidents use pardons to endorse their own personal agendas, their own, as always, that has been the case. I personally think it's time to get rid of the presidential pardon, and then we could get rid of all these questions all the time. Let's break. In a minute, I want to talk about flock cameras. Finally, more cities are standing up and saying enough. I get why people hate these cameras. My position on them, it's nuanced. I know. We love the nuance. Where are you on our surveillance culture? And if you and me can run our cell phone everywhere in public, do you really want to make local law enforcement have one hand, two hands tied behind their back? If your family member were missing or the victim of a crime and somebody's off running, you want the cameras off? We'll talk about how we weigh those things. Your feedback always welcome. 651-461-9226. Drive Time back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Let's talk about home and auto coverage. You want the best coverage, and you want the best price. When it comes to your home, when it comes to your car, look, none of us like paying those premiums, but all of us like knowing if somebody hits us or if lightning hits our house or something goes wrong, that we have the Canopy Group on our side. It's Jason here for the Canopy Group. Local people, great people, generous, kind Minnesotans who created a different way of doing insurance. Instead of one agent, one company, you get 40 agents, 40 professionals, and 16 companies. That 16 is a big deal because when you reach out to the Canopy Group, they're going to take your home, your zip code, your roof style, the age of your house. They're going to take your cars. What is the age of the car? What is the risk? The drivers. They're going to take your family scenario and run it through 16 companies and say, what do you got? Give me your best coverage at the best price. They will piece it together to work for you because the Canopy Group works for you. They don't work for those 16 different insurance companies. They work to get you the best deal, and they'll do it again next year. They'll do it again the year after that. They run the numbers every year to make sure you're getting the best deal and getting the best coverage. Reach out. You don't have to be at the end of your insurance cycle, by the way. You can do it right now. 800-967-3389. They'll even call your mom's neighbor's brother, who's your insurance agent, and cancel it so you don't have to make that call. TheCanopyGroup.com.
Okay, so we checked with our people who sent it to legal. Legal then referred it to corporate. Corporate formed a steering committee which convened the board, who then commissioned an independent feasibility study. The study was peer-reviewed, notarized, redacted, unredacted, and returned to legal. After reviewing the findings, consulting several highly paid independent experts, and taking a long, thoughtful look at the data, it turns out that, yes, you can listen to WCCO.
If only every decision in life were as easy as choosing News Talk 830 WCCO. No committee necessary.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Gosh, working on 35 East southbound near Maryland Avenue. The activity off to the right side. Your slowdowns begin back at Little Canada Road. In fact, 35 East slows both directions, essentially between Highway 36 and I-94. South 35E, that's also a slow go as make way along the Parkway past Victoria Street, heading down to Shepherd Road. Highway 5, both directions into the main terminal down by the airport, jam with some stop-and-go traffic. It sounds like they got some construction work taking place in the area of the terminal parking lot, so get ready for the delays as you make way through there. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast time, thanks to B&M Tree Service. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Any shower activity pretty isolated in nature right into the night tonight. Eventually cooling back to about 68. It's going to be very humid tomorrow. We'll have a few scattered showers possible in the morning and again later in the afternoon. 81 will be the afternoon high. The good news is it gets less humid on Sunday. That'll be the sweeter day with a high up around 82 in a partly cloudy sky.
Woodbury, 82 and cloudy on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I think that's a recipe for chaos.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm picking out this dress, trying on these shoes, because I'll be single soon.
We got lots of fun on tap for you today. Card D Sharks coming up at 4 o'clock. As always on Friday, we'll be playing for a Chester Concepts gift card, the restaurant group that owns Parlor at PS Steak and Rustica. So that's coming up at 4 o'clock. And at some point in this show,
we're not telling you when.
Why would we?
No.
But we're giving away tickets to Tim McGraw this weekend. So Tim McGraw is at, next weekend. I keep thinking it's this weekend.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's August 23rd. The Tim McGraw, the Chicks, the Lady A, and at Target Field. So that is a week from Sunday. And there are some tickets available. I'm looking at the
limited
Ticketmaster.com site right now. But wouldn't it be more fun? Like, sure, you could get tickets in the 300 section if you want. You could spend $100 a ticket to be like on the lower level. You want to be like on the ground level, but how about you win tickets for free? Sounds pretty good.
How about that?
So that'll be coming up.
So yeah, we're going to play Name That Tune.
Name That Tune. Is today Tim McGraw?
Today is a Tim McGraw day.
Okay.
We've sort of mixed it up. We've had some Lady A, we've had some Chicks, but mostly it's been Tim McGraw. Today is a Tim McGraw day. Probably the most difficult Tim McGraw one that we've done so far.
Yesterday we ran through
6 callers.
Right. So if you know your Tim McGraw, today's your day. There has been a backlash to these flock cameras. They've been stolen in a number of cities. They've been vandalized in a number of cities. And my initial reaction that, look, nobody's going to be surprised that Jason, corporate, middle of the road, common sense, logical DeRusha, thinks that ramming your car into a flock camera is a pretty idiotic way to demonstrate that you don't like surveillance nation. We live in surveillance nation. Make no mistake about it. For years, I said it was your fault. It was my fault. We were giving away our information to every corporation who wanted it. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, every app you download, every photo you take with location services. We've given it all away. Now, the government is finally been getting in on the act. We don't have enough cops in most of our communities. We expect amazing high-quality video of anything that happens. And so you have this tension of a society willing to give information away to corporate America, no problem, and this massive skepticism we have of the government using any sort of electronic methods when it comes to law enforcement. I am concerned that the crappy data management, the leaky sort of sharing of information that Flock as a private company has engaged in threatens the entire law enforcement ecosystem from using really good tools to help keep officers safe, to help keep you safe, to solve crimes. Because in a country where you will give it away no problem, people are backing into flock cameras to destroy them. Now, we're always hyper skeptical of the government. We should be. Although I would argue we should be a little more skeptical of handing over the goods to corporate America without any hesitation. But that ship has sailed, right? Like, we've lost that battle. People give away their private information, and they say, well, I'm not going to pay for these websites, so it's worth it. Here's my opinion on flock cameras. And you guys, I think, know what these are. Several communities, including here in the Twin Cities, Plymouth, Edina, Eden Prairie, but Duluth, Faribault, Winona, all have had cameras vandalized. St. Cloud has had these cameras. Sherburne County yesterday said they shut down the flock cameras and they're removing them. North Branch City Council Wednesday said, we're removing our flock cameras. Winona said our 8 cameras which were stolen, we're not replacing them. I think it's right to be skeptical of the way the government is using this information. I think we should be more skeptical of companies like Flock and the way that they share information. The technology is moving faster than I think our ability to understand it is moving. But my question is this. In a world where you and I can record video of anything, anywhere, anytime, post it on the internet, boom, 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 no problem. Does it really make sense to say we're not going to let the cops have a license plate reader? I don't know that it makes sense. 651-461-9226. To me, I think we need to figure out how to restrict the sharing of this information. You know that if you park your car at Ridgedale or Southdale Mall, there's a local cop driving around with a license plate reader trying to see if your car was stolen, trying to see if you are wanted for something. That's happening. That's been happening for a long time. Is it really that offensive for the city of Plymouth to have a flock camera up there clocking license plates? Now, the question is what they do with that data. To me, the surveillance itself, I think we've given in on that. And so to me, it does not make sense to restrict law enforcement from using these tools. When you and I are doing it all the time and we're giving it away to companies and they can put these cameras out there, to me, it does not make sense. That said, we need much stronger laws about the way this information is being shared. Right now, law enforcement can access this information generally without a warrant, without any probable cause. They can share it all. It goes in this public database. It's shared all over the country. And we've seen mistakes. That's the biggest thing, that because there's so much data being gathered, it's AI, it's machine learning that is analyzing the data. And that's where mistakes are happening. I think that's part of the skepticism. Dennis is on the line at 651-461-9226. It's tricky, Dennis, because we've given away this surveillance all over the place. If my kid were kidnapped, I sure would be grateful if there was a network of license plate readers out there, to try to stop that. But I'm also very concerned about the way this data has been shared so freely and how many mistakes have been made. How do you make sense of all of it? Dennis, can you hear me? You're on the air.
Yes, either. Oh, yeah. Flock cameras, they've been around for a long time, but most people are now finding out people are abusing the system, and that scares everybody. But we have everything you touch, your phone, your car, anything tracked these days if in a criminal world. Because the flock cameras aren't an extension of your hand anymore, everybody's a little bit scared about it.
Yeah, and I get that too. I think part of the problem is we've had like all of the abuses of the system, right? There have been a number of reports, some very good reporting that have revealed that law enforcement officers, some officers were using the flock data to sort of, stalk women. That was, and look, we have reporting here in Minnesota years ago that cops were looking up driver's license information of like local women who were anchoring the news. And so like this sort of stuff has been happening before, and it will happen with new technology. But it's a tricky balance, I think. I just worry that because of these reports of abuse, because some of the concerns that we have, that people are going to say no to all of the technology, all of the electronic technology that law enforcement may be using.
Correct. Everybody's worried about it. It's something new, and somebody's abused it, so we throw it in the trash. No, we fix the problem and we move on. It'll be around. If it's a tool to aid in crime, save your kids, save a life, isn't that outweigh the scale a lot more than anything else right now? That's got to be top.
Dennis, thank you. That is the question. I mean, I think our country has always been based on the idea that protecting privacy, protecting freedom, curtailing the power of the government is more important than one individual case because the potential of abuse. But I don't know. I wonder if people's views, I think half of America thinks, if you could track a killer, if you could save someone who's being kidnapped, even if you could track a car that's been stolen or a wanted gun criminal, people are willing to give up a certain amount of privacy, except when it affects them.
That's the problem with that. Yeah, go all the way back to what Ben Franklin, right? Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary security deserve neither liberty nor security. That's the problem, right? Is that if it's not my liberty, if it's somebody else's liberty, well, that's negotiable. If it makes sure that if it lets me feel safe, then I'll negotiate away somebody else's liberty. But as soon as you negotiate away somebody else's liberty, you're also negotiating away your own.
Right. But the theoreticalness of this runs up against the reality of these cameras are solving crimes every day. And we don't have enough law enforcement officers. To me, I would rather, and again, like this is an ongoing theme, I think, when you look at general problems with our government in this state. It pains me to say this because I am a believer that, generally speaking, private business can do things better than the government. I think the pursuit of profit right now as private business, I don't know, I'm more skeptical of private business in many ways. You look at what happened with all the fraud here in Minnesota. Yeah, I'm pissed that the government didn't catch that fraud and didn't prevent it earlier. But also look at the fact that these layers of private operators, middlemen. Well, who enabled the fraud? It was that setup.
The problem
so,
is,
like, now we got it also with Flock. Like, what if the state were running this program? Well, you'd have existing law that would sort of keep some better guardrails on it.
The issue is, to me, Flock is a tool that has helped in a lot of cases, no question about it. And you know what? We solved cases before Flock.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have a system like this that isn't controllable, essentially, because it's nationwide, because it's a private company, and you can have departments from all over the country tapping into other departments.
No one wants a gun database.
There's no
we have
control
a
of it.
National license plate
That's
database.
the problem. You can't control it, and so there's no. The only, if it's going to be abused, the only control you have is to just shut it down in the local area.
Yeah.
So that's again, it's problem. It's not like cases that were solved by Flock can't be solved other ways.
Right.
Flock just makes it a heck of a lot easier. But I'm sorry, if this technology is going to be abused, and clearly it has been, and there's no other way to control, I don't know what else you do other than shut it down.
I think you have to right now.
Yes,
I don't think
for
you
sure.
have to take the cameras out, but I do think you have to shut down the data sharing and the collecting until we get better handle on it. Keep the texts and comments coming, 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
This weekend, I hope you're gathering with friends and family. Nothing better than summertime, the backyard cookout, the backyard hangout. It's Jason. And when you get together with family and friends, Minnesota Pork wants a seat at the table. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board. 3,000 family farmers every corner of this state working so hard every day, trying to crank out lean, high-protein, delicious Minnesota pork. This weekend, the options are endless, and because of that, you might want some inspiration, recipe inspiration. The Pork Board did the work for you. And in fact, celebrity chef Marcus Samuelsson has been sharing some of his favorite international pork recipes at tastewhatporkcando.com. Ham hock fried rice sounds delicious. Sticky smoked ribs. Wouldn't that be nice this weekend? Get that rack of pork ribs. Slow and low. You can bake it if you want. 300 degrees for 2.5 hours. You can throw it on a smoker, throw it on a grill. Lean, tender, juicy. Get that Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Dave Lee for Aquarius Home Services. Is your air conditioner on a permanent vacation? It may be time to trade up to a new energy-efficient cooling system. The good news? Aquarius has extended their trade-in and trade-up sale through August, so there's still time to get an additional $500 off on top of their summer sale pricing. Stay cool and comfy like me and schedule your free estimate at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices, $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You just testified under oath you're getting more fiber in your diet, and it was easy?
Where is this additional fiber coming from?
Mira Fiber Gummies.
Objection!
It's true. Mira Fiber has 8 grams of fiber to help me get the fiber I need in a day, plus 4 B vitamins for metabolism support. All in one serving.
Overruled.
My gut rests its case.
Oh, that's my line.
Find Mira Fiber today at your local retailer from the makers of Miralax. Mira Fiber supports metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. Serving size is 4 gummies.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
35 east southbound to Maryland Avenue crash has been cleared out of the way. Still the slowdown just come down from Highway 36. Crosstown eastbound slow just make way between Gleason and 35W. If you're traveling 35W northbound, not too bad out of downtown. More of a slowdown up ahead once you hit the area of County Road 96 to Highway 10. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast time tonight, isolated showers possible. It looks like, I know we're saying this isolated shower stuff. Dan, I don't buy it. So there you go. That's my belief. Tomorrow, 81's the high. Sunday, no chance of rain. This is what I think of this forecast. If you're listening, Schaefer, I think you're being a coward by putting this partial chance in. We'll see. Right now, it's cloudy, kind of gloomy out. 82 on CCO.
Where curiosity hits the gas. Drive time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All that jibber jabber, and then I looked at the radar, and looks like Gaylord, Hutchinson, Litchfield.
Maybe you describe that pattern as, I don't know, scattered?
It's certainly
partial.
I would say it's widespread. Like all the rain is in Des Moines. There's just in Waterloo, all of Iowa is wet right now. It's just like a little offshoot that came up to us.
Would you like me to get Chris on the phone so you can apologize in person, or how you?
I feel like I backtracked in record time on that.
Right.
I feel pretty good about it. I didn't have the video up on our live video stream, so that's good. Like you didn't have to see me. The visual on my face.
So you're saying visual evidence is more of a problem than audio evidence?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I can manipulate. Well, I can manipulate all of that, let's be honest. Texter asked about flags at half-staff today. And the flags are at half-staff today in honor of a fallen firefighter. So, there is a website where you can look up kind of why our flags at half-staff. But Leslie Washington, who was a 41-year-old firefighter from Alaska, suffered a medical emergency while responding to the fire near Ely and died. So flags have been at half-staff to honor him, Leslie Washington, and that's why the flags are at half-staff today. So now you know. We got local news coming your way in just a minute, and then Cardi Sharks. Continental Diamond, we thank them for their support of Drive Time with DeRusha. Time check is 3:58. I'm checking the time on a beautiful pre-owned luxury watch. You can check out their awesome selection at continentaldiamond.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Anywhere you are, everywhere it matters. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis St. Paul. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The war in Iran is approaching 6 months, and President Trump today said the U.S. continues to make progress.
Pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
He was speaking on New York's Long Island not long after he dismissed reports that families of crew members aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier had feared for the health and safety of their loved ones because the ship had been at sea for 9 months. Retired Marine Colonel Steve Ganyard is an ABC News contributor who says the complaints are mostly anecdotal.
So 9 months at sea, not putting a step on land, not a can of beer, 9 months, and they're keeping their focus. And so I guess what I think is a bit distressing is that this seems to, in the past couple of days, become a political football.
The Army's temporarily grounded training flights for Apache helicopters as it tries to determine what caused a crash during a training exercise near Fort Hood in Texas this week that killed both soldiers on board. Luigi Mangione admitted to stalking and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City. Mangione today pleaded guilty to 2 federal charges.
This was not a spontaneous act of violence. It was deliberate, calculated, and premeditated.
That's U.S. Attorney Jamie McDonald, who says there was no deal, and Mangione faces life in prison when he's sentenced in December. He still faces state murder charges. That trial is set to begin next month, but his defense team seeks to dismiss the state charges. A 3-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled President Trump's goal of ending gender-affirming care is not improper and thus cannot form the basis of quashing a subpoena against a provider of medical treatment for transgender youth. An ACLU attorney who represented Queer Doc says they'll continue fighting the subpoena. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 81 degrees at 4:02. I'm Laura Oakes. Secretary of State Steve Simon says local law enforcement are looking into what he calls a widely discredited Florida-based political group who visited several polling places in Minneapolis, impersonating Minnesota voters on primary election day. Those involved posting videos of themselves using hidden cameras online.
I'm James O'Keefe, and this is vouching for 7 other Muslims at a Minneapolis polling booth.
Simon says the group dressed in what they call Muslim costumes, imitated foreign accents, and falsely claimed to be registered Minnesota voters. He says they used concealed cameras to record their interactions with poll workers, releasing a heavily edited video with the apparent goal of casting doubt on Minnesota election laws governing the legal vouching process. Simon calls the group's behavior outrageous and totally unacceptable. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar unveiling her health care blueprint for Minnesota as her gubernatorial campaign heats up against GOP challenger Lisa Damoth. Klobuchar's plan focuses on workforce expansion and state-managed cost controls.
I am focused on making sure that Minnesotans can afford their health care, that they can fill their prescriptions.
The Damoth campaign calling Klobuchar a Washington insider who has done nothing to control health care costs. The senator had this to say in response.
I led the bill on prescription drug negotiations. That was me. And it's something the Trump administration is using right now in their work to try to bring down drug costs.
Minnesota reporting its first confirmed case of West Nile virus this year.
An unvaccinated horse, the victim. Alex Carlson with the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District.
It showed signs of weakness, loss of muscles, Yeah, it was falling down during a typical exam, so they knew that something was wrong with it, and that's when they decided to give it the test.
Carlson says the virus attacks the nervous system of both animals and humans.
It's like an encephalitis, so it can attack the brainstem, causes flu-like symptoms, nausea, fatigue, fever, things like that. Mostly it harms older Americans. Are more susceptible. But for some cases, it can be neuroinvasive and can be very, very dangerous.
Although there were over 100 cases reported in humans in Minnesota last year, no cases have been reported in 2026. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The Lime Scooter Company is getting ahead of another planned takeover in Minneapolis tonight. The company has actually banned everyone who rode the scooters out onto the highway last weekend. As for tonight, a spokeswoman says they'll monitor the event closely and issue warnings, fines, and bans to riders who engage in irresponsible behavior.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's smart. I was in favor of the thing, but I'm not in favor of people riding on the highway. For sure, those people should be banned.
You can't do that.
No.
They have also designated certain zones. They have a slow zone and a no ride zone where the scooters will just automatically either slow down or stop
and they've had
altogether.
That before. I rode a scooter from here to the North Loop on Monday night, and it slowed down as I got close
you must
to
have been
the
in the
library
zone.
And the Four Seasons Hotel. So
okay, good.
It's good.
And finally, the Minnesota Vikings preseason schedule gets underway tomorrow with a noon kickoff on the road against the New York Giants. Newly named Vikings starting quarterback Kyler Murray says it'll be good to finally see some in-game action.
I'm playing a kid's game. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be able in this position to be the quarterback of this team with the great guys that I have around me. KO calling the plays. Honestly, I just got to go out there and be myself, not try to do too much. This is a great group of guys, great team that I have around me, and I'm excited for it.
Head coach Kevin O'Connell says all 4 quarterbacks will play in tomorrow's game. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Just check the cameras along Highway 5 near the airport, and it looks like the delays heading into the main terminal have gone away. You can find traffic more on the lighter side, moderate side, to make way into the main terminal there. Traveling West 94, slowdowns place, Carmichael Road to St. Croix River. West 694 slows. Matterhorn to 252. Attention motorists, Laguna, Minnesota wants you to slow down when driving in construction zones. You're now entering their work zone where they are building a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down when you see the orange cones and yellow vests and save lives. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Launchpad Golf, the Meadows in Prior Lake is your family and friends hangout. Chef-driven menu, in-range shot tracking tech, and golf every weekday with the Summer Players Card for one payment of just $199. Book your suite tonight at launchpadgolf.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Launchpad Golf. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Most will stay dry, but we will have a few isolated showers possible into the night tonight, dropping back to about 68. Now, tomorrow there could be some scattered showers in the morning. I think we'll be dry for a good chunk of the day with another round of scattered showers possible later in the afternoon. Again, many will stay dry. 81 the afternoon high tomorrow. Sunday, the nicer looking day, partly cloudy with a high near 82.
Mostly cloudy right now, 81 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
We are news. We are talk. We are News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
I was telling a friend who's asking me, I was actually talking to Ian Leonard out at Target Field, and he was asking about TV. What do I miss about TV? And I said, I miss having a bunch of people. I said,
do stuff for you.
Yeah, I said, I'm it's just me and Dan. So during that little musical interlude, I was moving the camera over. So on our live stream, you can see the Card D Sharks board. And what that means is we need some contestants. So I need 2 people who want to play Minnesota's fastest growing high-low card-related game. And I need you to call 651-461-9226. Dan will pick whoever he wants who calls in. But we're giving away a $50 gift card at PS Steak, Butcher and the Boar, Parlor, Revival. They have so many stores now. Revival coming soon, the fried chicken place in the North Loop.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. And what else do they have? I don't know. Starling in Edina. And I was just out at Cheeky Noodle Bar in Excelsior.
That's new, right?
New within the last year. Mirabelle.
Okay, yeah.
And then Cheeky is like right in Mirabelle.
Yep.
It used to be, was it Jake O'Connor's out there, the Irish pub?
Yes.
So it's in that spot right across the street from Vagabondo. Very good. The Cheeky Noodle Bar, very good. So I highly recommend that. I think I made a video and I don't think I posted it yet. This reminds me I should. It's on TikTok. If you follow me, I'm on TikTok. It's a little exhausting, right? Like we're on TikTok. I have a show account on TikTok, DeRusha Show, and then my own account, Jason DeRusha. So like more of the fun, the food, that stuff on my account. And then we put show clips from our show on DeRusha Show. So
You're everywhere. You are everywhere.
It's exhausting. And probably exhausting for you guys as well. I'm sorry. We're just trying to get the show out to people, give you a chance and maybe you get a taste. The first taste is free. The second, you have to listen on the radio live. But that's how that goes. All right. Dan lined up 2 contestants for us. And we have a fresh poem. I have not pre-read the poem. So wish me luck.
Be careful.
You never know what Kristen launched at us here. The election is over. The summer soon done. State Fair around the corner with the promise of fun. And speaking of fun, you can't get much more than Card D Sharks Friday. 'Tis becoming radio lore on Card D Sharks. Very nice. Kristen always comes through. She sent in this poem today.
Yep.
From I think from a cabin situation. It was accompanied with a picture of a lake, which just rubbing it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we had to work today. Bob is in White Bear Lake. Bob, did you work this Friday?
I'm retired.
What's it like, Bob? We're all envious.
I highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been retired for 13 years, and it's great.
Good for you.
How young?
To be true,
Go ahead.
I retired at 60, and to be truthful, I don't know how I had time to go to work.
Yeah. When you look at how busy, isn't that funny? Yeah, 60 would be great. If I could. Do you think CCO Radio will be around until I'm 60?
I certainly hope so.
Oh, for sure.
I think so too. I think it'll be around. I could probably make it 9 more years, make it the finish line.
I mean, we've been here over a century, but in the 4 years you've been here, you're going to kill it. Is that what you're saying?
Can't rule it out. Bob,
as long as you keep Twins baseball, you'll be around.
And we feel that way too. We love having the Twins on the air here. That is for sure. Stand by, Bob. Mark is in Waconia. Mark, did you work this Friday?
No, I didn't. I'm on disability right now. Pretty much retired.
Yeah,
65 years old.
Good and bad, right? Good and bad, but we're.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly right. That's one of the things that in my years of interviewing financial experts talking about retirement.
Yeah.
We all have this. We all have like the positive idea of retirement, but he said he's like a lot of people aren't really in control of when you have to stop working.
Right.
Yeah. Well, $50 and a nice dinner goes a long way. So we're playing for that today. Bob and Mark are 2 contestants. The way this works is Bob is going to get our first question. I have surveys of 100 people. We ask 100 people a question. Bob is going to give an answer, and Mark will say higher or lower. Our first question goes to you, Bob, and it's inspired by the fact that I went to my dentist this afternoon. And as I sat down in that dentist chair, got that paper blue apron, a little bib tied around my neck, and that light fixture from 1968 with that amber glow to it shining directly in my eyeball. The dental hygienist asked me, so how many times a day do you brush? 0, once, twice. I said twice. She said, do you use an electric toothbrush or a regular toothbrush? I said electric. She said, how many times a day do you floss? And I asked if she wanted me to lie to her. And Laura knows of my, I'm a pretty hygienic gent, I would say, generally speaking.
Not when it comes to those chompers.
That's right.
Apparently.
I reject big floss and everything about it. The floss, I hate to use the term mafia, but, you're going to tell me that, the guys behind those placards, those little toothpicks, they're not in cahoots with the big tooth, with big dental? I don't know. I'm skeptical of flossing. But it did make me wonder how many Americans say they floss every day. We asked 100 people, Bob, how many do you think said, I floss every day? How many Americans? First, Bob, do you floss every day?
No.
Good. That's right, Bob.
And I'm going to say the average American does not floss every day.
What?
So it's a hard question to answer, but I would say 30%.
30%, says Bob. Mark, are you a flosser?
Occasionally,
yeah. Yeah. Laura, you go every day?
I go about every other day.
Every other day.
I
feel like that's
Yep.
That's probably enough. How much crap are you getting in your teeth?
Enough where I tell myself I should probably be doing this every day.
Do you ever draw blood?
No.
Yeah. Sometimes I cram. Sometimes I cram before I go to the dentist, and you're like, "Oh, maybe
that's
I
because
should be
you never
flossing
do
more
it.
often."
You would have tougher gums if you would do it more regularly.
Probably true. My gums are notoriously wimpy, pansies. A lot of people have called my gums pansy gums. Mark, can you say? Are you allowed to say that? I don't know. Is that a disparaging? Unclear.
I mean, you just did.
Yeah. You could. You told me, Dan, I could say anything once. So, Mark, do you think the actual number is higher or lower? Bob said 30. Do you think it's higher or lower?
I think it's lower.
All right, Mark says lower. The actual number of Americans who say, well, there's a corollary question that we'll be asking later in this show, which is, do you lie at the dentist?
Mm-hmm.
The actual number of Americans who say they floss every day is 41. 41, not a majority. Bob, your guess was pretty good. So it is not lower. It is higher, which means Bob gets control of the board. Bob in White Bear Lake. Laura's got the cards dealt out. And do you want the blue cards or the red cards, Bob?
I'm going to go red.
All right, Bob goes with the red cards. Laura is going to flip over your opening card, and it is a 3. Bob, a nice start for you with a 3. When you get the question right, you can always ask to change the card, but why would you change a 3? Higher or lower than a 3?
Well, I'm tempted to go lower, but I'll say higher.
Yeah, it could be a 2. Higher than a 3. It's a queen. It's a nice card for you. And Bob, don't be too worried, Mark. Don't get discouraged. 3 more cards to go for Bob on this queen. Higher or lower than a queen, Bob?
Oh, lower.
Lower than a queen. It is a 10. It is lower. Now you have a bit of a decision to make, Bob. 2 cards to go. You can freeze, which preserves your progress and locks out Mark on this turn. Or you can roll the dice and go higher or lower than a 10. What do you say?
I'll roll the dice. I'll go lower.
All right, lower than a 10. It is lower. It's a 7. And now you've really got a choice to make, Bob. On that 7, with just 1 card to go, do you want to freeze or do you want to go for it?
Go, Bob.
Mark says go. Bob, I want you to think about it. We'll get Bob's decision in just a minute. Cardi Sharks $50 from Jester Concepts on the line. We'll be back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, gutmanlaw.com. It's Jordana. And I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Ref Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, gutmanlaw.com. Gutmanlaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 218-210-0674 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 218-210-0674 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 218-210-0674 for fast, easy, and affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 218-210-0674.
And welcome back to Get Ahead of It. First question, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you should
Talk to your doctor.
Yes, it could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is the #1 prescribed branded treatment for IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily prescription pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Jason DeRusha.
Just because he thinks he has a louder voice does not always make him right.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jester Concepts, we're so grateful for their support of Cardi Sharks. Next time you go to Parlor Cocktail Bar in St. Paul or in Excelsior or in the North Loop, where they have a new happy hour in the North Loop from 4 to 6 now, $10 menu. Next time you go, tell them, like, hey, we hear you guys doing the thing on Cardi Sharks on DeRusha's show. We would appreciate that if you'd let them know, because we appreciate their support. We've got Bob in White Bear Lake, who's been on a tear, flipping 4 cards, 1 to go. Poor Mark in Waconia hasn't had a turn yet, but Bob's got a tough decision, because if he calls this card wrong, he loses all his progress. If he calls it right, the game's over and he won. You also can freeze, which preserves your progress, and we go on to the next question. So it's up to you, Bob. You're on a 7. Higher, lower, or freeze?
Go, Bob. For For once in my life, I'm going to go with common sense and say freeze.
All right. We've had a lot of gamblers lately, so
Yeah.
All right. We'll see if that pays off for Bob, because the next question goes to Mark in Waconia. Mark, we asked 100 people a question about technology. We're asking them about old technology and saying, do you miss it and want to use it again? So we asked this question about the film camera, about which film cameras have had a resurgence.
Mhm.
Have you noticed that,
Oh,
Laura,
yeah.
with the
Yeah,
kids? Yeah, for my son Seth's 21st birthday, he wanted a film
Yes,
camera.
good.
So we went to National Camera in, what is it?
Roseville?
Golden Valley, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it is,
okay.
over by Care 11, and got him a camera. Cassette tape. We asked about rotary phone. What about the payphone? Remember when payphones were everywhere? I remember as a reporter, we didn't have a cell phone. We had to stop and call like the 800 number to call the newsroom to tell them what was going on with
Yeah.
our stories at our first job. Anyway,
Crazy.
how many out of 100 people say, I miss the payphone and I want to use it again? What do you think? How many say they miss the payphone?
That's a tough one. I'm going to say half, 50%.
50%. All right, you make it tough. 50% says Mark. Bob, what do you think? Do you think the actual number of people who miss the payphone and want to use it again is higher or lower than 50%?
I'm going to say lower.
Bob says lower. Laura, do you miss the payphone?
I kind of do.
A little like the romance
It's
of it.
just kind of fun.
Dan, you're young. Have you ever used a payphone?
I'm older than you by only a few months. I'm sure I've used a payphone at some point in my life, but obviously not in a lot of years. What I love about it now is that you'll still randomly, there's a place, is it Plymouth? It's a strip mall anywhere where they still have like just a random payphone booth.
Oh, cool.
There's no, the phone doesn't work or it's not attached to anything, but just, it's just the nostalgia of the thing.
I like that.
Once in a
Yeah.
while you'll see those hanging around. So I sort of dig that. But no, I have a cell phone. I have no need for a payphone at this point.
The actual number of Americans who say they miss the payphone and want to use it again is just 16. Just 16, much lower. So, Bob, here we go. You have a 7. You have the ability to change that card because you got the question right. I assume you want to change that 7, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, the 7 goes away. Laura is going to pull another card, and the 7 becomes an ace. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
What a change. Only one way for this to be a buzzer, but let's see. For legal purposes, Bob, higher or lower than an ace?
An 8 or an ace?
It is ace. Ace is high. It is ACE, an ace.
Lower.
Lower than an ace. It is.
Oh, my God.
It's another ace. It's a push. Oh.
Look at you putting the absolute whamboozle on that
did. That
situation.
was my
Oh,
fault.
there's only one way
I didn't
this
know.
could possibly go wrong.
I didn't know.
That's a tough beat.
Are you
Wow.
guys? Are you guys accusing me of? I feel like I'm being accused of something.
I'm saying you just messed with the Magambo and poor Bob is
That's
paying
possible.
the price.
All right, Bob, you only lost one card, though, because you froze and protected all your stuff. Mark, you get a shot here. You're on the blue cards. Let's give you your first card. You start with an ace as well. Lots of aces today. Higher or lower than that A?
Lower.
Lower than an ace. It is an 8. 8.
Ouch.
Right of ouch is right. You can roll the dice or you can freeze on the 8. Your call.
Let's roll the dice and go higher.
Higher than an 8. It is a 7. It's lower. And it's all right. We go on to the next question, which is going to be sudden death. So here's how this question goes. Whoever wins the question will have a decision to make. You'll either play or pass. But first, you got to win the question, and it goes to Bob in White Bear Lake. Bob, we asked 100 men, do you prefer it when your wife makes more money than you? How many men say, yeah, I prefer it when my wife makes more money than I do. What do you think, Bob? How many men said, yes, I want my wife to make more than me?
And I'm guessing a percentage?
Yep. Percentage, 0 to 100. You pick.
Oh, boy, that's a toughie. I am going to say 35%.
Bob says 35%. Mark, what do you think? Higher or lower than 35?
I got to go higher.
Mark says higher.
Why wouldn't a wife like that?
Well, the question is if a man prefers it when your wife makes more money than you. How many men prefer it when their wife makes more money than you? Still want to go higher than 35?
Yeah.
All right, very good. The actual number of men who prefer it when their wife makes more money than you is 32%. 32%.
Wow.
Just a little lower. And Bob, you may be rescued on this one. If this is another back-to-back ace, it's time to take these cards and light them on fire, right? But you are on an ace with one card to flip, Bob. Oh, you also get a choice. That is true. Dan is correctly telling me the rules to this game. Because it's sudden death, Bob, you get a choice. You can flip this one card, play, and if you flip the one, you win it. Or you can pass it and make Mark run the table. He starts on an ace, but he's got to flip 4 cards. So do you want to play or pass, Bob?
I'm going to play.
I would play too. You're on an ace, higher or lower than an ace for the win?
Lower.
Lower than an ace. It is. It's a jack, and Bob pulls out the victory. Oh, boy. My heart was beating a little bit there. I got to be honest. There was a chance that was going to be messed up again, but it worked out for Bob. Mark, you were a great contestant. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening and for playing.
See you later.
Hope you have a good night in Waconia. Bob, you're the winner. Thanks to Jester Concepts. You got a $50 gift card. So you can come on down and come to PS Steak or go to Revival, the fried chicken place in North Loop when that opens up sometime next month, likely, or Parlor, that great cheeseburger. Lots of options for you, Bob. So congratulations. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
Bob.
you very much.
Glad to have you on the show and glad to have you listening. Stay on the line. Dan will get your information. Laura, great work.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
You absolutely nailed it. The ace to ace. That was I don't know that I've seen an ace to ace. We've had
one the week before.
Was it both 2 aces again?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to shuffle.
Vicas is in our comments pointing that out. I remember that. Yeah.
I mean,
then to pull an ace again with Mark at the bottom means that there were only 2 aces you could have pulled because remember that was a replacement card. So the odds of pulling one of those 2 aces out of that deck of the remaining. I mean, do the math.
You could. We're not going to.
I think we need a new deck shuffling policy. Like maybe you need to walk these giant cards to another part of the building and find a victim
a new
who
spot.
Wants to.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's either that or we got to sacrifice a live chicken over them or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Take the hex off.
One of those for sure. We could just go 52 pickup and just go throw them on the floor in the hall. And
that's kind of fun.
Pick them all up. If we do that, we need to record it on video, right?
Or do we do that out at the fair?
There you go. Just throw them
Good
out to
plan,
the crowd.
Dan.
Very good. We will play Card to Sharks live at the fair. We're going to be at the fair from every weekday, starting opening day. Well, every weekday. We'll be there 7 weekdays. So Thursday, Friday, and Monday through Friday, and not on Labor Day, and not on the weekend. But that's the plan.
So, but other than that, yes, but we will play Card to Sharks both Fridays. So if you're going to be out at the fair on a Friday, 4:00, come on out to the WCCO booth, Cardin's and Underwood. Right between the Sweet Martha's and the Republican booth.
Nice.
And we'll play Card to Sharks. You might get a chance to play Card to Sharks for a prize to be determined.
That's true. We could probably double it, like give the Jester card and like some state fair nonsense.
Some sort of
Although
swag.
I don't know if we have a sponsor out there or what is happening.
Andy's Grill is sponsoring.
Maybe they're
our
maybe
show
they're
this
giving
year,
some
maybe
prizes.
Maybe we'll do a little something there.
You know, I think it's great that we plan this stuff right on the show.
Why not?
Why not? Cook and I spend enough time together in the studio. We don't need meetings. Please. Let's break. In a minute, should we do your most hated word or should we do who lies at the dentist? Well, if you pick a topic, you guys tell me which one you want to do first. And leave your comment in the YouTube or in the Facebook. So if you're on WCCO Radio, YouTube, or Facebook channel watching the live feed, you get to pick the next topic. It's either do you lie at the dentist or my most hated word is blank. Drive time back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. Now listen, you can get your news and info literally anywhere.
Fortune cookie? It says avoid 494 unless your heart is pure.
My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid who's going with a girl who says the governor controls snow days with a laser.
When my left knee hurts, it means breaking news. Right knee means somebody touched the thermostat.
Or you could learn what's really going on by staying right here. News, weather, traffic, and smart conversation from voices you know and trust. News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you
Chad
so.
Back here with you. I want to talk about trust and peace of mind. We all need it, in particular in some areas, including your insurance. Maybe it's for your business, or maybe it's more traditional with your house and your car. For me, I have trusted Amber Scholl and Associates with American Family for, what are you guessing, 5 years, 10 years? No. My entire family, whether it's my father or my kids, with American Family, with Amber in particular, for 30 years. We dread something bad happening with our house, with a car accident, but we need people with expertise, with professionalism and availability, and that's what Amber and her team are all about. Reach out to them today. It's worth it. Trust me. 651-738-4811.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Not looking too bad for a Friday afternoon. Slow down to Plaistow, West 94, Carmichael Road to St. Croix River. 494 westbound, not bad. Just move between Cedar and 169. North 169, some slowing between Cedar Lake Road and 394. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy invites you to a free seminar for pre-planning your funeral and cremation services to help protect your family in the future. Enjoy food. Visit with speakers from the New Brighton Chapel Thursday, August 20th, 11:30 a.m. at the Exchange. For information, go to washburnmccreevy.com or 612-377-7841.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Washburn McCreevy Funeral Cremation and Pre-Planning Services. Let's get the weekend forecast from our buddy Chris Schaefer.
Any shower activity pretty isolated in nature right into the night tonight. Eventually cooling back to about 68. It's going to be very humid tomorrow. We'll have a few scattered showers possible in the morning and again later in the afternoon. 81 will be the afternoon high. The good news is it gets less humid on Sunday. That'll be the sweeter day with a high up around 82 in a partly cloudy sky.
It is very cloudy, almost dark in downtown Minneapolis right now. Is that because there are scattered showers in the area? You better believe it. Little cell just the south of downtown Minneapolis. Most of the rain in the Hutchinson, 212 sort of area, Le Center, down 169 Northfield, that part, little south metro here on CCO.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All we ever had is over. I don't want to run for cover. I want to be that one and only.
A lot of response to my lack of flossing on the text line today. It's disgusting. Jason, just floss. Is it disgusting? I mean, I'm not like walking around with kale like hanging out of my mouth or something. Why is it so disgusting? Now, I mean, maybe this is the question. Fellow people who do not floss, why don't you floss? 651-461-9226. Because I'll tell you why I don't floss. It's too much work. It's too much work. Do you floss, Dan Cook?
Strictly speaking.
Here we go.
No.
No?
I do. My nighttime routine is to use a water pick.
Oh, well, I think that I would count that.
You would. My dentist would not. So it's sort of, that's my compromise, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm not going to floss. That's, at this point, that's been established in my life.
Do you know how to do the floss? Do you know what the floss is?
I mean, is there some sort of special technique to it? I mean, you just take the floss and you go between the teeth. What are we talking about? Do you know how to do the floss?
It's a dance. It's like,
you dance while you floss?
No, there's a dance.
That's why it's too much work. You don't have to dance, Jason. You can just stand there.
There's a dance called the floss.
The thing with the arms.
With the arms.
Yeah, no.
Like,
no, I'm too old for that.
Boop, boop, boop. You're like.
Yeah, no, I'm too old for that sort of thing.
Burp, burp. I can't do it. My kids tried to teach me during COVID, and I couldn't figure it out. Texters, a dental lab technician says use a water pick. So I went to the dentist today, had a new hygienist, Kayla. Kayla was super nice. My dentist, when I go to the dentist office, there's a big old creepy-looking dog-like smiling mascot holding a life-sized, ginormous toothbrush. I don't care for the mascot. I feel like when I sit down in the waiting room, the judgment begins from the mascot. Do we need a mascot at the dentist office? I just don't care for it, and I feel like I'm being judged by the giant mascot.
No, we don't need a mascot.
Thank you.
But I'm going to put it on you that you're feeling judged. You have the power to overcome that feeling. And I'm going to tell you how to do it.
Okay.
But before I do that, my dentist sometimes listens to this show. So Dr. Lear, if you're listening right now, please turn off the radio. Just there's plenty of good stuff. You know, go listen to Barrero or something. But here's the thing, because they do it. It's the same routine. You know, are you flossing every day? Are you? It's the same questions you get every time. So here's the answer. Okay. When the dentist asks you, are you flossing regularly? And you don't want to lie.
Right.
You also don't want to feel judged.
Okay.
You just look at the dentist and say, not as often as I should.
Oh.
Because that's not a lie.
Okay.
It also leaves open plenty to interpretation. Well, does that mean 3 days a week? Does that mean 2? Does that mean not at all? And it dodges the entire situation and puts the onus back on the dentist where it belongs.
Why does anybody care what the hygienist thinks? Right? Like, who cares? Like, I say, you don't have to lie. And like Kayla was wonderful today. I loved everything about today's cleaning. And I was maybe the worst. Jonathan, I was maybe the worst patient imaginable today. Because I go to the dentist today, Jonathan. I sit down, and then, at first, like, I'm making some jokes. And, you can imagine how that went over. Like, you're working on Friday afternoon. So this ding-dong comes in, thinks he's going to tell a couple of jokes to you. So
no.
But
Jason, no. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, everyone.
Why not tell a couple of jokes? And then she asked if I floss, and I said, "Do you want me to lie?" I don't know.
Their fingers are in your mouth, Jason.
Right.
You don't want the little scraper thing to be swallowed down your throat.
Sharp implement. Yeah. Sharp implement.
Yeah, and no, we don't need a little statue smiling at you while you're in the waiting room because, well, maybe if they have kids, that's a whole other story, but that's different. But yeah, no, Jason, just sit there and say, I'm here for my appointment, in and out. That's all you need to do.
You don't think like a little opening bit, little opening routine is, don't we do a monologue like it's a late night comedy show? You tell a couple of jokes, then you sit down. Then
No, you do that with the receptionist, not with your dentist and not with your hygienist, nothing. And you floss because I've seen some nasty teeth. Yeah.
I mean, Kayla seemed to enjoy the jokes. I don't know.
Jonathan,
Dan?
I've floated this theory in the past. Let me know if I'm onto something or if I'm on something here. But I think, like, you know how you can order an Uber and then you click the little box and they don't talk to you for the whole ride? There should be a dental office that markets itself as, we will not talk to you during the entirety of your teeth cleaning. We're just going to sit there, clean, get you out. What do you think?
Amen. And if I'm at an appointment, and I'm getting to the point of my call, when you apply for positions, which I've been doing the last couple of weeks,
you got a job.
We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you is my least favorite word right now.
Yeah.
That means no, we're sorry, we're not interested. I mean, honest to God, just be honest and say, we love you, we appreciate you coming in, but we're not going to hire you.
Wait, that's it. That's it. If when they ask you if you're flossing, you say, well, I'll get back to you on that.
No,
perfect. No, that's brilliant.
Absolutely not. Absolutely no. No, you floss every night before you go to bed. Because if your wife kisses you and a piece of chicken salad comes flying out your mouth, it ain't going to be good.
There goes Jonathan. Jeff, I have told a hygienist as an answer to this question before. I've said, you're going to find out in a minute. What do you think about that as an answer?
That's a perfect answer.
Like, I mean, I could tell you I floss every day, but you're going to know the answer very, very shortly.
I said pretty much the same thing one time.
Yeah.
So every time I tell you that I floss, you get in there and start flossing and tell me that it hasn't been enough. You catch me at it, so don't ask.
Right. Why are we doing this charade? It's because they have to put it in the computer, right? It's all here are the 47 questions we asked. This hygienist today, she dispensed with all of the other questions. It was fantastic. She was wonderful.
And I don't like flossing because I hate trying to wrap that string around my forefingers.
Yeah.
Then you're in there trying to figure out how to do this without gagging yourself and try to keep your pinky finger out of your nose.
Did you know, Jeff, the incidence rate of floss-related sort of finger injuries? Or even worse, what do they call it when you chop off like a leg or chop off
amputation?
Do you know the finger amputation rate when it comes to floss?
No, I don't.
12%.
But I bet it's higher than we would expect.
12%. 12% of floss users have lost the tip of a finger because of overly tight wax floss wrapping.
Oh my God! I lost the tip of my thumb once to a dog bite. You think I would enjoy having part of my own finger coming loose.
Not good. Not good. Thank you, Jeff. I'm glad, by the way, when Jeff said, whatever you're talking about tips.
I was hovering over the dump button.
It gets a little dangerous. Texters. Do you floss regularly? Is the question. And my answer is always yes. Once every 6 months. That is a regular
pattern.
Yes. Yeah. I rinse with Crest Pro Health, and my doctor said that is the same as flossing. Kind of surprised me, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that sounds like complete nonsense to me, but if the dentist tells you, write it down, record it. Hey, here, let me
Could
film
you
it.
sign this?
Could you just let me videotape you saying that, and then...
Now, a texter says, don't wrap it around your... Just by the way, I was totally making up that percentage of people. Like, that it sounded so believable.
Don't ruin the bet.
Just to be clear. I feel like legally, like some Odyssey lawyer is going to come at me and say, like, well,
they were going to do that anyway.
You can't just make up stuff on the radio. If you want to keep texting about
they
flossing,
listen to the show.
But big love to Kayla. Hygienists are the heroes of the dental office, and the dentist, to me, the biggest fraudulent job in medicine is the dentist, right? The hygienist comes in there, and like the hygienist essentially like perseveres through a hellish war zone, scraping 6 or 7 months of crap out of your teeth. And then the dentist comes in at the end and like, poke, 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 poke. Everything looks great. And then the dentist charges you like $800 and you pay the hygienist like $50 for like a car wash of your mouth. I'm on your side, hygienist. Drive time back in a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Chris Lindahl flosses every day. That guy, he's not messing around like me. He cares. He cares. It's Jason for my friend Chris Lindahl. Arms out. That's Lindahl. You see him on the billboards. You see him on the side of buses and light rail. And he's everywhere because he wants to make it easier for you to sell your home. Selling a home in this market, it's not thrilling. It is in some zip codes. There are certain zip codes you're going to be great. There are certain price ranges, or maybe you've updated your house and you're going to be good to go. But for a lot of people in the marketplace right now, interest rates on mortgages are hovering around 7% again. The uncertainty has a lot of people sitting on the sideline, people not making decisions as quickly as maybe they once did. Uncertainty over their own job has them backing out of deals at the last minute. And so, Chris Lindahl, guaranteed cash offer. It's an option, and he wants you to consider it. If you go to chrislindahl.com, and maybe you're thinking about selling even in the next year, get to chrislindahl.com today. Fill out the free Smart Seller Guide, and then you can plan ahead. Make a decision. Maybe you say yes to a guaranteed cash offer. You're getting a big red check, and you're saying, oh, DeRusha, thank you for telling me to get to chrislindahl.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Flint Hills Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Flint Hills Resources, South 100, County Road 81, crash just cleared out. Still slow, those come out from 94. Traveling west 94, that's all past 494 up to Weaver Lake Road. Northland 69, jammed up Highway 7 to Highway 55. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, isolated showers out there tonight. Don't cancel plans, but be ready. It is cloudy. You can sort of feel it out there. Low of 68. Tomorrow, scattered showers possible by mid-afternoon. Then it clears out, high of 81. Sunday looks like a gem, high of 82 degrees. Right now, it is 81, cloudy. Wouldn't be a terrible night to go hang out on the patio at the Minneapolis Club. Yes, I'm a member, but anybody can hang out at Charlie's for happy hour or for dinner. Great patio, great old school vibe inside that restaurant, too. So check it out at the Minneapolis Club.
Jason DeRusha.
I'm dropping bombs of genius every day on this show.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Bodega Premium High Octane. If it had wings, it'd be a plane. We're going to take her out and fly tonight.
Everybody's telling me floss picks. Use floss picks instead of the string. That way you protect your tip of your finger. I keep some floss picks in the rooms I hang out in, says a texter. I have follow-up questions about that. Do people like going to the dentist? Because I do like going to the dentist. I sort of alluded, Dan, to Jonathan that I was a bad patient today. Because, I mean, I wasn't the worst patient. I asked a hygienist that once, like, what is the worst dental patient? And they said, anyone who eats an Oreo cookie.
Yeah.
Oreo is the worst.
I mean, it is silly to do like you talk about the cramming before going to the dentist of, doing all the flossing and all those things.
I didn't even brush this morning.
Well, but see, that's the thing. You do at least have to give some effort.
You don't.
Otherwise, you walk in there with halitosis and you're breathing God knows what into that poor gal's face.
I had a great cup of Caribou coffee this morning.
Can't imagine she appreciated that.
Do you pre-wash your car before you go off to the car wash?
No, but you don't have the car wash guy, dealing with all your mouth germs either.
Well, I didn't sign up for the job. We all make our choices. I don't go in like intentionally. I don't go.
Kind of sounds like you do.
Well, I just didn't brush this morning.
I didn't brush. I knew I had a dentist appointment, so I didn't brush and drank a big cup of coffee. Here.
It feels so good, though. Like, I love going to the dentist. I would go to the dentist once a month if you could get in.
Yeah, that's...
The hygienist told me to tell all you guys that they need more hygienists. So tell your kids to go to the dental school or get the training, because that makes sense. Texter says, I love going to the dentist. It's the only time I get to hear something nice about me. You care so much about your hair and clothes, but not flossing, says a texter. Well, here's the thing. We all only have the capacity to think about so many things. And I have filled my mind with such drivel, such useless information, such useless passions that there's no room for flossing. Sorry. Dance card's full. Like, I'm thinking about pre-owned luxury watches, I'm thinking about ContinentalDiamond.com. Thinking about the Continental Time Check. 4:57. Time to get ready for local news in one more hour of drive time.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. I'm Piera Palazzolo,
VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Washburn McCreevy invites you to a free seminar for pre-planning your funeral and cremation services to help protect your family in the future. Enjoy food, visit with speakers from the Glen Haven Chapel Wednesday, August 19th, 11:30 a.m. at Pub 42 in New Hope. Information at washburnmccreevy.com or 612-377-7841.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices, $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Minnesota's source for news, weather, traffic, talk, and Twins baseball. News Talk 830 WCCO. KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The Army is grounding all Apache helicopter flights after a crash near Fort Hood, Texas this week killed 2 crew members.
The Army says as it's mourning the 2 aviators who were lost in this week's Apache helicopter crash, and as it tries to better understand why the helicopter crashed, that it's ordering a stand down of all Apache flights temporarily until further notice. Data shows the Apaches have a higher number of mishaps recently than other helicopters in the Army inventory. Alex Stone, ABC News.
President Trump today dismissed concerns from some family members that crew members aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier are suffering because they've been at sea for 9 months.
No. Not nearly long enough.
He made that statement en route to New York, where he said the U.S. continues to have success in its war with Iran.
Pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
Iran's deputy foreign minister responded in a statement saying the strait cannot be seized by tweet, aircraft carrier, issuing an order, or election speech. The president today asked the Supreme Court to allow construction to resume on the White House ballroom after 2 lower courts said that Congress must authorize non-security construction. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has details from Washington.
The administration's filing takes head-on the idea embraced by an appeals court panel that the president is not the owner of the White House, but merely a tenant. The administration's petition says that would make a judge the president's de facto landlord.
Luigi Mangione faces life in prison after pleading guilty to federal charges today. He admitted to killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in 2024. U.S. Attorney Jamie McDonald said,
"There are no accommodations or concessions, and we are free to seek the maximum penalty under the law."
That means life in prison. Mangione's attorneys are seeking the dismissal of state charges. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy, chance of showers, 80 degrees at 5:02. I'm Laura Oakes. The medical examiner's office releasing the names of the victims and perpetrator killed in Hopkins and Burnsville this week. 41-year-old Nathan Brown, who police say shot and killed himself, is believed to have been responsible for the killings of 41-year-old Kristen Brown and 7-year-old Evie Ann Brown in their Hopkins home. He is also believed to have killed 78-year-old Alice Brown in her Burnsville home earlier in the day. Police had previously said she was a close relative. Fresh off her primary election victory in the Minnesota governor's race, U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar is unveiling her plan for a major health care overhaul in the state.
Her strategy focuses on sweeping healthcare reforms, a proposal to expand medical training pipelines, and lower soaring insurance premiums across the state.
I am
reflecting where Minnesotans are right now. They want costs to go down. They want to have a government that works and that they can believe in and trust again.
In a statement from her campaign spokesperson, GOP opponent Lisa Dameth pushed back against Klobuchar's plan, arguing that the senator's long career in Washington has only fueled higher costs for Minnesotans and that leadership change is overdue. With the November general election approaching, both candidates will now have to convince voters whose vision for fixing the state's healthcare system is the right one. In St. Paul, I'm Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Secretary of State Steve Simon says local law enforcement is looking into what he calls a widely discredited Florida-based political group that impersonated Minnesota voters on primary election day. Simon says they used concealed cameras to record their interactions with poll workers with the apparent goal of casting doubt on Minnesota election laws governing the legal vouching process. The Lime Scooter Company is getting ahead of another planned takeover in Minneapolis tonight. The company has actually banned everyone who rode the scooters out onto the highway last weekend and warned others who violated the company's terms of service. As for tonight, a spokeswoman says they will monitor the event closely and issue warnings, fines, and bans to riders who engage in irresponsible behavior. Lime has also established slow zones and even no ride zones in the downtown area where scooters will automatically slow down or stop. While much of the state is experiencing drought-like conditions, the lack of rain has also led to a lack of mosquitoes and 0 cases of the West Nile virus in humans. The most common mosquitoes are a floodwater variety that only hatch after a rain. However, Alex Carlson with the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District says not to get too comfortable.
August is the peak month for West Nile virus transmission in Minnesota for humans and for other animals. So it's a time of the year where even when you're not seeing a lot of mosquitoes, still doesn't hurt to bring along the bug spray just to be safe.
He says the virus is transmitted through both mosquitoes and birds. WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Slow down display, South 35W and 106th Street as you head down through Highway 13, 494 northbound, some slowing Bass Lake Road into the Fish Lake interchange. Not a bad ride for 35W northbound, Highway 36 to Highway 10. USPS Ground Advantage, reliable route, no problems on 494 westbound, 61 to 35E. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Gutman Law, wills, trusts, and probate law. Find them at gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Most will stay dry, but we will have a few isolated showers possible into the night tonight, dropping back to about 68. Now, tomorrow there could be some scattered showers in the morning. I think we'll be dry for a good chunk of the day with another round of scattered showers possible later in the afternoon. Again, many will stay dry. 81 the afternoon high tomorrow. Sunday, the nicer looking day, partly cloudy with a high near 82.
Mostly cloudy right now. Chance of showers 81 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Asking better questions. Getting better answers. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
We are going to start this hour with something different, doing something different. We're going to give away tickets to Tim McGraw a week from Sunday, but you got to call right now, 651-461.
Shut up and drive.
9226. 651-461-9226. We're playing Name That Tune for Tim McGraw Pawn Shop Guitar Tour. It's at Target Field, August 23rd. Tickets, thanks to Live Nation. Only a handful of tickets in the primary market available at Ticketmaster.com. There are resellers trying to make their money as well. So check it out at Ticketmaster.com to look for tickets. But these concerts at Target Field have been so fun, so good for the city. And this one's a blockbuster. You got the Chicks, Lady A, 49 Winchester, Timothy Wayne, all of that magic at Target Field on a Saturday, early evening, late afternoon, and just music going to be filling downtown Minneapolis all Sunday night. Pretty fun stuff on August 23rd, the first Sunday before the State Fair. And it's going to be great stuff. We're going to play Name That Tune. This is our last pair of tickets. Your last chance to get your hands on these Tim McGraw tickets. Dan, I will say, has made this the most difficult. So you got to be a Tim McGraw fan because this is a Tim McGraw song. That's all I'm going to tell you other than the little clip that Dan selected. I think it's going to be tough. So even if we get, don't give up. If the phone line is busy, don't give up. We've got Sonia and Linda and Greg and Deb and Rita, everybody lined up to play Name That Tune. 2 tickets on the line for this big concert coming to Target Field 1 week from Sunday. Can you name this Tim McGraw tune? With this road. That's not much. Cook, you are a nasty SOB. You are a nasty, nasty man. Sonia, you are the first caller to be in on the action. I'll give you that clip one more time. Here we go. With this road. Can you name that Tim McGraw song, Sonia?
I can't.
You can't. Can you name any Tim McGraw song?
Indian Outlaw.
Is it Indian Outlaw? It is not. It is not. Little team effort there, Sonia. Sorry it didn't work out. Linda in Andover. Linda, can you name this Tim McGraw song?
Is it True Roads of Freedom?
Is it? Oh, it is not. It is not. I'm so sorry. Next up is Greg in Shoreview. Greg?
Yep.
Can you do it?
How about Forever Country?
Forever? Oh, it is not. Greg, I'm sorry. Deb is in Victoria. Are we going to run through all 5 of these? Deb, you're caller 4. Can you name that Tim McGraw tune?
I cannot.
Oh, I'm sorry. No go for Deb. Rita in beautiful Buffalo, Minnesota. Rita, I've been known to wander the streets of Buffalo before, which sounds like a Tim McGraw tune right there, doesn't it? Wandering the streets of Buffalo alone. Can you name Can you name the clip that Dan selected for you today?
Live Like You Were Dying.
Live Like You Were Dying. Oh, Rita, I'm so sorry. There we go. 0 for 5. I had a feeling that was going to happen. You should see on our video feed the look of satisfaction on Dan Cook's face. He is so proud. I need more contestants. 651-461-9226. We ran through the first 5, and so now we're reloading. It's kind of goofy. We had to do this yesterday. We got to caller 6. Let's see what Tony has to say. Dan, should we play the clip one more time? Why not? Dan is this road. Just a little clip. Tony, can you do it?
Song for America?
Is it Song for America? No. Tony. Tough. Keep them coming. 651-461-9226. We get to caller 7, Lisa. Lisa, you are on CCO. Can you name the Tim McGraw tune?
From This Moment?
Say it again, Lisa.
From This Moment On?
Is it From This Moment On? Oh, Lisa, I'm sorry. No. What Dan Cook is doing right now is a multitasking feat of magic. He is answering calls. He is putting them on the air. He is sounding the buzzer. Liz is on the air.
Yes.
Liz, you can do it. I can tell. What is it, Liz?
I think the cowboy and me.
And with this road I'm heading down I guess that's just the cowboy in me. The urge to run, the restlessness.
Liz, how's it feel?
Oh, feels very victorious. I love it.
Oh, it feels victorious for me, too, because I was worried we were going to run this thing into Twins pregame tonight. How about that?
I was yelling at the station, and I was like, it's this. And my husband's like, just call. I'm like, okay.
That'd be something if we ran it to Twins pregame since they don't play till tomorrow.
No, that's true.
That'd be really something.
Yeah.
Liz?
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah.
You're a fan, obviously, right?
I am. I've seen him. I love his wife the best. Faith Hill's my favorite, but I've seen them both, and she won't be there probably, but I love him, and I do like the chick, so I'm excited.
I think Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, they were at Target Center, weren't they, together years ago?
Yeah, yes.
So
Yep.
back in the day when our country station used to be called Buzzin', and they had like they had a meeting. Yeah, good name, huh? Oh, it's right. Like, all right, Buzzin'. Never heard of it. Exactly. That's why now it's called The Wolf. Ever hear of that? Don't answer.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you know The
sorry.
Wolf. All right,
No,
very
okay.
good.
Yeah.
We did a meet and greet, and they the morning show guy at the time invited me to come along with the listeners who won. And Tim McGraw could not, and Faith Hill could not have been nicer. Like, incredibly nice people. And you just don't know, right? You meet like a big celebrity. No. It's like the first time I met Chad Hartman. Like, when you meet someone that famous, you don't know how they're going to be.
I met you once. Same thing. I know.
Was I all right? Or?
Just kidding. Yes, you were fine.
You never know. You never know. Maybe I was having a bad day. It's possible.
No.
Liz, I'm
so excited.
You're the perfect winner. I'm so glad that you won. You obviously you're taking your husband, right?
Oh, well, I'll say that now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, heck of a pause. But maybe he's not a fan. Like, you're better to bring a girlfriend and go have a good time.
No. He's a fan. I'll bring him along.
Well,
okay. He'll make him drive so I can have a couple drinks.
There you go.
Perfect.
Now you're now you're doing the pawn shop guitar tour the right way. The Chicks, Lady
Exactly.
A, 49 Winchester, Timothy Wayne, all at Target Field, August 23rd. Live Nation gave us these tickets, so we thank them. And Liz, you're going to have a great time. Thanks for calling. Thanks for getting the song right.
Yes, thank you so much. I love your show.
Thank you. We love you. That's so nice. Good stuff. Glad we made it to Liz, right? Lots of contestants.
Can't wait for our next meeting.
Dan Cook and people who are watching on the live stream got just such a delight watching Dan like picking up the calls, typing in the name into our sheet. Because I'm in the other direction, so I know their name. Then Dan's like putting them on the air, playing the clip, you didn't hang up on anybody. Our phone system worked through the whole thing.
I did hang up on people, but not on purpose, which is what happens sometimes. Look, so to take people behind the curtain just for a moment, if it were up to Jason, he would give anybody who called a set of tickets. He would just, here, tickets. He'd just give it.
Everybody would win.
Now, if it was up to our boss, Brad Lane, it would be the 150th person to guess the thing. Everybody else would have to get it wrong, and then he wants this to go and go and go. And you know this as well as I do. We hear about it if it doesn't go far enough, right? Correct. I got a text on Tuesday asking me how this was going. So the fact that we got to caller number 8 there before somebody was able to get it. Pretty sure he's going to be thrilled with that.
Yeah. 2 days of
6 yesterday, 8 today.
Pretty good. Jonathan on YouTube noting that Dan's forehead is sweaty.
It's actually not sweaty. It's just shiny. There's no sweat there.
Okay.
It's just, I'm having a shiny day.
He was just reflecting your hard work in that segment. That's all.
Right. I understand, but I'm just, I'm a truth teller. So I'm not sweating.
I mean, you could just pretend like it's on the radio. Most people don't know. Dan's pitting out. There's sweat. There's perspiration. Just like
lies.
It's like
all lies.
I was hit by a bead of sweat.
You were not.
My college
But you're going to be hit by something here in a minute.
My college roommate, Chris Wenninger, we used to go to the gym at Marquette and work out at the same time. And Chris would be on the treadmill. I was on the treadmill next to him. And he was one of these like vigorous workout guys.
Oh, no.
and sweat was literally flying off his body. He's a doctor now.
So it worked out for him.
Probably in incredible shape.
And here you are on this
I'm
Dog and Pony AM radio show.
I'm probably doing an ad for Olivia in a couple minutes. That's how that works out.
No, but you could talk about my shiny skin if you wanted here in a minute.
Why don't we do that?
Hey.
Everybody wants dewy skin. Let's talk about that next.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm actually looking forward to Monday because I get to go see my friend, Dr. Mohiba Tureen at Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here. And you guys know I love Dr. Tureen. She's been my dermatologist for years. And who was I with the other day where we were talking about my time away from TV and the change to radio? And they were saying, they're like, you look younger. And some of it is due to sleep, not waking up at 2:30 in the morning. And some of it, honestly, is due to Dr. Mohiba Tureen and the team at Tureen Dermatology. Now, looking great, having skin that feels great, that's part of what Tureen Dermatology does. The cosmetic side also can help you with medical, I don't know, do you call it medical? Hair loss? They got you covered when it comes to hair loss. August, Hair Loss Awareness Month. More and more guys are reaching out to dermatologists trying to hang on to the hair they have when they're younger. Tureen Dermatology can guide you through medically guided advice, not just some influencer on TikTok. Dr. Tureen and her team, they're trained to help you keep the hair you have. So men, women, there are millions who are affected by hair loss in America. So reach out to the Tureen team. When it comes to full body skin checkup, now's a good time to get that on the schedule. You can get in as early as 3 weeks. Right now at 5:20, I go to the website. Don't bother the people on Friday at this time of day. Request an appointment online. Do it at Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. And tell them Jordana sent you.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Summer's not over yet, and Launchpad Golf, the Meadows, is where I'm finishing it strong. It's Jason DeRusha. Launchpad Golf in Prior Lake, right across from Mystic Lake Casino Hotel. It's more than a golf entertainment venue. Come for dinner. Try some of my favorites like the Truffle Bison Burger, Wild-Caught Salmon. Plus, how about this deal? The Summer Players Card. It's just $199. Golf in a suite any weekday with 5 guests. 2 visits. Your new weekday hangout pays for itself. Book tonight at launchpadgolf.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
He's an operator, baby. Yes.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota's been all over the news again today, partially because of Luigi Mangione, the guilty verdict in the killing of Brian Thompson, father of two, United Healthcare executive. Today should put an end. It won't, but it should put an end to anybody who thought that what Luigi Mangione did was noble. Because what he did was premeditated, disgusting, criminal, diabolical, and frankly, I think evil. And if you can justify the taking of another person's life because you're rightly upset at the way health insurance companies operate in this country, you're screwed up. You're screwed up. The ends do not justify the means. They don't. And also, you're delusional if you think killing one man or killing two men or killing three men is going to be an effective way of changing the way health insurance and health care is delivered in America. Did this do anything? No. And we can't let it. It can't be the sort of thing that does something. What sort of society are we? Luigi Mangione pointed out a good issue. I feel a little dirty when we pivot on the issue to talk about the challenges with healthcare, right? Because I don't want this guy to be the one that now we woke up because somebody was killed. Now, admittedly, that's a little hyperbolic. We've been talking about healthcare, the challenges of healthcare in this country for a long time. We just, since Obama passed healthcare, which Obamacare, I think you look at it today and say, just based on results, I don't think it's worked, right? You had hospitals shutting down. The cost of healthcare keeps going up. Was it a step in the right direction? What is the right? Well, here I go pivoting, right? Like, it's just not, it's sort of that icky feeling where you're like, well, I don't want to justify. But, he did have a point about like how evil health insurance. Well, are they? There is no evidence that this particular health care executive was any more responsible than any other one. So if you are, and some poll results have indicated that when they ask people under 30, about half of the people say that this murder is somewhat justified. Let's take that number and cut it in half and say half of the people were just like a little worked up by the event, right? Or maybe they didn't really mean it. Or maybe if you sat down with them and talked through it, it's different than answering a poll question about like, do you think this killing was justified? Yeah. All right. Well, if you have a conversation, but okay, cut it from 50 to 30. Cut it from 30 to 15. Cut it to 10. Are there really 10% of people under the age of 30, adults, who think it's somehow justifiable to execute somebody on the street? I mean, besides the fact the logic of this is absurd, right? Killing one person is not going to change the system. It's not. So from a logical standpoint, it makes no sense. Hearing what Luigi Mangione admitted to in court today, which to me is still not enough, like I want to know if there were opportunities for someone to intervene. That's the thing I always really care about in these cases, the actual details. It's a little gory, right? And almost irrelevant. But I always am interested in, was there a chance where, if you had some system set up, if there was some warning sign, was there a friend or a family member, somebody who could have intervened? Because there's a guilty plea, we don't know the whole thing. What we do know is what he said in court today, which is this was more than just a man driven by overwhelming passion for the issue. He did have back pain. he did have long, ongoing struggles with insurance, but he also reached out to United Health pretending to be an investor so he could ambush this guy. He also 3D printed his own weapon and got a silencer on it. You may want to think of yourself as some sort of courageous warrior in a battle, but you really just ambushed a dad is what you did. You ambushed somebody's father and executed him on the street. Where's the courage in that?
Shot him in the back, you coward.
Shot him in the back. There's no courage. Now, do people... Here's another sick part of this. If Luigi Mangione were an ugly guy, would people be as worked up and like, you go, Luigi? No, they wouldn't. He's pretty. He's hunky. What is wrong with people? This is a human being. There are important conversations to be had about healthcare. We should not have to have someone be murdered to have those conversations. And frankly, I don't think this was not anything that moved the conversation forward. It just wasn't. And we don't need, there is a growing belief in younger people. And I say growing because it's always been there to a certain degree. And there is, conscientious objecting and protesting. And when you break the law to send a message. But executing someone is not being a conscientious objector. It's not being a protester. It's not being a truth teller. And I do think younger Americans have to get their crap together. And yes, youthful sort of hyperbolic commentary is normal. But we do live in a different world today that the internet and social media can do things like what we saw with Luigi Mangione, where he's getting, millions of dollars donated to his legal defense fund. Why? Because you get whipped up in this frenzy and you're like, yeah, I'm on the side of the person, not the side of the health insurance. Well, the Brian Thompson's a person. This is a person.
Right. But one of the problems with the way that we've become so tribalistic in this culture is that it leads you almost inevitably to start dehumanizing anybody who's out of your tribe, anybody who's other than your tribe, anybody who doesn't fit whatever framework you've set up for this group of people. Even if you think I'm trying to protect, average working Americans from the evils of the healthcare corporations that just are greedy and all they want is to suck your money on, and they don't care anything about you or your health or any, you can see how you can convince yourself of that. But as soon as you start doing it that way, you can dehumanize somebody like Brian Thompson. And then he's just a guy. He's not even a human being anymore. He's part of this nameless, faceless corporation that needs to be punished, that needs to be fought against because they're trying to kill us. So I have to kill him first. And when it's such a disturbing trend when you start dehumanizing people who you think have treated you wrongly or are outside of your tribe, then you can do anything you want to them.
Right. Right. That's right.
And it's evil and it's wrong. And we should be doing everything we can to push back against it in all of its forms. And this is by far not its only form, but it's the one that's in the news today. And that's why we're talking.
Well, what do you say to this texter who says, just remember, this man also made decisions that caused people to die because of profit?
You don't know that. You're supposing that based on the system that you don't like.
It is the definition of health insurance. So most certainly and it may be 2 steps down, but most certainly
15 steps
he
down.
contributed to policies that, that's part of. Doctors make decisions every day that lead to people dying. Other drivers make decisions that lead to people dying.
And we don't do eye for an eye in this culture anymore. You want to go Old Testament on the bit, that's your business. But that's not how we do things.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have evolved beyond that at this point. That doesn't solve anything. It doesn't fix anything. It just makes you feel better about the fact that this guy was slaughtered in the street.
This texter is right that saying that Luigi Mangione is not much different than Vance Belter, that neither should be.
Or the guy that shot Charlie Kirk, or the guy people that were shooting at the president, or any of these people.
Right. Right.
They should all be criticized. They should all be called out. They should all be, have the light of truth shown on what they are, and which is not heroes. These are villains, period.
And I do disagree with this idea. And the texter, it's the same texter who's saying the man-made decision that caused people to die, saying that they consciously execute people every day so they can live on top of the world. Money, money, money. The CEOs dehumanize every day. I do think that's a fair conversation to have about the way health insurance is set up in this country. I will tell you during COVID, and I know United Healthcare is a giant employer here, and I don't hold it against any of you who work for United Healthcare, but I will say that during COVID, when we were in a national state of crisis, when people were having their livelihoods squashed, they weren't able to work because places were shut down because we were worried about safety. When United Healthcare reported record profits at the same time the nation was going through this crisis, it's gross. And to me, that was a moment where you say, this system is messed up. And I think we all have like individual stories, but when you look at the overall thing,
it doesn't justify murder, which is
for sure.
Which is the unescapable implication of what this texter is saying. Well, they did this, they killed all these people, so therefore it's okay that Luigi murdered this guy, and it's not. That's just wrong. In every moral, ethical sense you can say, it's wrong. It doesn't make what they did better or not morally and ethically wrong itself, but it doesn't justify killing this guy. It boggles my brain that we have to say that people are still out there going, well, yeah, but no.
If you're curious about the legal case, because there's still our state trial, there's a state trial here, check out our podcast. We had a great conversation with Joe Tamburino about why Luigi Mangione pled guilty, what sort of criminal he might have, what sort of sentence he might have. And if there is a double jeopardy issue, I share my thoughts on the feds coming in and prosecuting all these murder cases. And spoiler alert, I don't care for it. Drive Time back with some Twins talk. The Field of Dreams game last night. We'll visit our Major League Baseball expert in just a minute on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Dollar General.
Apple is working on a new home device that Bloomberg says looks a lot like rival products from Amazon and Google. The report says Apple's Smart Hub will have a 7-inch square display designed for FaceTime video conferencing, home security monitoring, and an intercom system that can connect with multiple devices. Apple will also integrate Siri AI into its Smart Hub, which is expected to launch by early 2027. I'm Jason Brooks.
Back to school season is here, and Dollar General has everything you need to start the school year strong. Don't forget to grab a pair of bright yellow sunglasses from the Yellow Glasses Project for just $2. Every purchase makes a difference, with 100% of proceeds helping support teachers, classrooms, and nonprofit organizations working to improve reading and literacy skills across the country. Stop by Dollar General today and shine bright with the Yellow Glasses Project, available now at Dollar General. The Yellow Glasses Project is a program of the Dollar General Literacy Foundation.
All right. It's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 Mike Rowe. And yes, I told you
Let's
so.
make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices, $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by USPS Ground Advantage. South 35W slow yet 106th Street to Highway 13. West 94 jammed up yet Carmichael Road to St. Croix River Bridge. 35W northbound as you head toward Lexington Avenue. Possible crash working for the North Metro. Sherry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast, B&M Tree Service bringing us that. It is gray and cloudy and a little bit of rain out there. Here is Chris Schaefer.
Any shower activity pretty isolated in nature right into the night tonight. Eventually cooling back to about 68. It's going to be very humid tomorrow. We'll have a few scattered showers possible in the morning and again later in the afternoon. 81 will be the afternoon high. The good news is it gets less humid on Sunday. That'll be the sweeter day with a high up around 82 in a partly cloudy sky.
That'd be great to see less humid again. Hell of a guy. 79 in Minneapolis on CCO.
Steering you through what matters. Drive time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Dan Hayes was at the Field of Dreams game in Iowa. The game was a bit of a clunker, but my gosh, the pageantry around it. Dan's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. He's written about this at The Athletic. Dan, how was it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, it's funny, you're a little worried going in because there's one way in and one way out. It's 2 lanes, and you're in a town of 4,000 trying to host an event for like 7,000 to 8,000 people. A little concerning, but they pulled it off so well. And apparently they've really gotten it kind of honed in over the last 5 years since they started doing these. It's fantastic. Like the facility itself is great. The clubhouses are immaculate, the dugouts, like everything about it. And then, you like when all that's in place, it really allows you to like focus on what is going on. And when they roll out 26 Hall of Famers, the most they've attended a game. They always, the Hall of Famers obviously go to Cooperstown together and in mass numbers there. But to go to a game together, that's the most they've been in a single game since the 2008 All-Star game at Yankee Stadium. And it was amazing just to see that group roll out of the cornfields, Paul Mauder and Jim Cott, Joe Mauer. And then the rest of that group was just tremendous. Everything about it was so cool, and it obviously, look, this is a place that it's nostalgia based. You look at the movie, I would even argue it's not in my top 5 baseball movies because it's a little bit like too much on the emotions. It plays into that a little bit too much for me. Like I love it. I still watch it, but I like other baseball movies better. But when you get there and you get to see the place, it makes it pretty special. Like, honestly, it blew away my expectations for it.
Yeah, we were talking about baseball movies on the show yesterday, and I agree with you. Like, I like it, but I don't love this movie. But the imagery and what they've done with that site, and certainly what they did with the broadcast of the game yesterday, was it was a reminder of the history of baseball, of how simple the game can be, how interwoven it is in American history. I don't know. It was all the feels, you know?
It is. And look, that's exactly what the movie represents. And I appreciate it for that reason. Like, it's just supposed to tell you, like, this game's been here for a long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, your generations, your family, if you're a baseball fan, chances are the generations before you loved it too. And, you know, it can tie you to your grandfather that you have no relationship with, you know, like stuff like that. Like, right. And so that's the beauty of this sport. And, yeah, they nailed it yesterday because I thought I was so worried about logistics going in. I'd heard some logistical nightmares. A lot of my friends, the Cubs and the White Sox played in the first two. They each hosted each year. And I'd heard some nightmares, you know, like they didn't even have running water going back about 4 years ago. So you wonder about that kind of thing. And then you get there and man, it was fantastic.
It's fathers and sons, right? That's so much of the lore of baseball. And you saw Byron Buxton playing catch with his son Brixton before the game. You heard Cody Clemens talking to his dad in the middle of as the game's going on about how excited they both were to go have a catch together on the field after the game. That part, that romance of baseball. I know that the line comes from Moneyball that how can you not be romantic about baseball? But that romance of baseball was so on display last night throughout everything, all the festivities, the game itself. It was just phenomenal.
And my favorite anecdote about that is actually Tommy Nance. His dad passed away last year from ALS after 11 years battling ALS in April, and he got to write his dad's initials into the mound. And like, you know, he said he and his dad watched that movie all the time. And they loved that movie, watching it together. And it's like this, I mean, I have the same thing with my dad about this movie. I don't like it. It drives me nuts that I know how I'm going to feel the last 10 minutes of the movie every time, you know, like I know what's going to happen and I hate it, but I love it. And so like, you know, right. And getting to hear him talk about that, he said that, you know, since his dad's passed, he's actually in tough moments on the mound. If the game's getting big, he has conversations with his dad at that moment, and it's helped him get through like these tough spots. And especially since he came back to the majors following his dad's death last year. And like just hearing that is just, you know, that's what it's supposed to be. So it was really cool in so many ways. And you mentioned Byron Buxton and Cody Clemens. Justin Morneau got to do that with his son. Joe Mauer got to do that with his son, Paul Mauter, who I remember when his son was 12 years old and on the bench in 2018. And, you know, his kids got 4 or 5 inches on him now, and they're there. But one of the cooler ones also was I saw Corey Provis amongst the crowd yesterday, and I'm sure he got stopped a zillion times, but he was there with his son, Cooper, and that's the first time that he got to go to a game with his son. And it was that one because there were no Twins TV broadcasts last night. So imagine the first time you actually get to take your son to a game, and it was the Field of Dreams game. That had to be pretty
Come
cool.
on. Like, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Good stuff. Dan Hayes, the game, though, you know, I don't know how much you read into a game with such an unusual circumstance and all the emotions around it, but the Twins stunk. It was brutal last night.
It was the Luke Keyshaw play. You know, he goes a long way to get that ball and was in place. And you know, it's a tough play. I mean, you're leaping, but you know, if it's Byron Buxton, he probably catches that, right? And I think a lot of outfielders. Luke Keyshaw hits off his glove. Keyshaw was frank about it afterwards. He's not an excuse maker. And by the way, he was the best offensive player on the team yesterday. Yeah. And that's what he's here for. But, you know, like that happens and the game kind of gets away. The Twins still had a shot. Royce Lewis faced Aaron Nola with the bases loaded, and Nola didn't throw him a strike, and Lewis struck out on 3 pitches. Just an outstanding job by Nola. Taj Bradley probably could have been better, but he still walked 4 guys, and that's what gets him in trouble. And he needed to be better. But I will say that a lot of the playing conditions, like the ball Brooks Lee hit, is a home run at Target Field, and it's 10 rows back. It was a fly out to the shy of the track last night. There were a lot of guys on both sides, because I got the quotes from our Phillies writer that was there too. A lot of guys were talking about the conditions and how the ball is getting knocked down. And there was during BP, you could notice it. I talked to Justin Morneau about it. And I was like, look at that corn. Are you swinging for the fences in BP and wasting BP on just trying to hit home runs? He said, absolutely, I don't care. And, nobody really could get it out because the wind was blowing directly in from left. And that's what happens when you play in a facility that there's no stadium there to knock down the winds like typically there is.
Sure.
And so, like you had Buxton mentioned it, that we got to second base after his double, that one of the Phillies infielders was talking about it. And, I think that Kyle Schwarber, he hits the 2 home runs. I thought the 2 balls he hit to center that were flyouts were actually better chances of being home runs. And neither of them came close, but he crushed those 2 pitches. So it was a strange, from that condition standpoint, I think it's a one-off. I don't think you put too much stock into it, but also that's not saying that this is a Philly team that's better than the Twins. I mean, there's no question about that. And the Twins have a tough run right now because they're facing the Phillies, then they play the Braves, and then they go to San Diego. And all 3 of those teams are fighting for playoff contention. I think the Phillies were half out going into last night, and San Diego had just overtaken them. But this is going to be a really tough stretch right here that we have 8 more games from the Twins, and they really need to just try to get through it as close to 500 as possible.
Dan, appreciate it. People can read your notes from the game and recap at The Athletic, and they should subscribe, but we're glad to have you with us on Fridays. Thanks, Dan. Enjoy the night off.
Hey, Jason. Thanks, man.
Twins off tonight, back in action at Target Field tomorrow, and right here on News Talk 830, the home of the Minnesota Twins, WCCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Jason here with an idea for you this weekend. How about you hit the Galleria? Get to J.H. and Sons. It is Jason from my men's clothing connection. The team at J.H. and Sons will take care of you. They'll take care of you better than they take care of me. I promise you. I'm a little bit of a troublemaker. The service there is unbelievable. That's the difference maker. I don't know about you guys, but I love being taken care of. I love getting advice, and I love when someone who knows men's clothing has the courage to say, I don't know if that's for you. Happens to me at J.H. and Sons. They're not just trying to push whatever, and they say, oh, that looks great. That looks great. No, they want you to feel great, to have confidence, to look like the CEO in that suit, to look like maybe you're the next guy to get married at that wedding. Wedding season. We're in the thick of it. You need a new suit, need something for the fall, get to J.H. and Sons. Going back to the office, extra day a week, J.H. and Sons. The Halberstadt family's been doing it in Minnesota for 50 years. Jeff is killing it with his sons at the Galleria in Edina. Say hi to Chuck and Bryce and Alicia and Dean and the whole team at J.H. and Sons.
This is the standard Minnesota radio listener certification exam. Please answer each question honestly.
Okay.
How often do you listen to News Talk 830 WCCO?
Most mornings, every afternoon, usually a bit in the evening.
Have you ever continued listening in a parked vehicle after reaching your destination?
Well, sometimes the conversation is so good.
So yes.
Technically.
We don't recognize technically. Complete this sentence. I heard something interesting this morning.
On CCO.
I see. Final question. Have you ever constructed a life-size replica of a WCCO host out of butter?
How did you know that?
Congratulations. You're officially certified.
There are listeners of News Talk 830 WCCO, and then there are fans. The question is, which one are you?
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Get ready for the next evolution of golf at Breezy Point Resort with Ace Valley, opening summer 2027. This one-of-a-kind lighted 12-hole par 3 course designed by renowned architect Andy Staples features unforgettable holes inspired by iconic courses around the world, including an island green and a rooftop tee shot. After your round, relax at the elevated clubhouse with great food, drinks, and panoramic course views. Be among the first to experience golf like never before. Learn more at breezypointresort.com.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast. Available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Some slowing, West 94, Hemlock Lane, Weaver Lake Road, traveling eastbound 394, got a little bit of congestion, Dunwoody into Minneapolis. South 35E jammed up Randolph as you head down to Shepherd Road. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. Serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
JTR, roofing and siding, that's who we are.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing bringing us the weather forecast. Tonight, we do have some rain out there. It's cloudy. It looks like it. It feels like it. It's supposed to be pretty light. Chris Schaefer tells us 68 is the low. Tomorrow, scattered showers possible by mid-afternoon. 81. Sunday looks good. 82, partly cloudy. Right now, it's 78 on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's been funny for years.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
No, I've been washed by the water of the kingdom. Washed by the water.
Continental Diamond time check. It's 5:56. Time to get to ContinentalDiamond.com. Maybe head on out the showroom in St. Louis Park, right off Highway 100 and 394. Great family-owned business, whether you're looking for diamonds or more. I love their pre-owned luxury watch selection, buying or selling. They have an awesome team at Continental Diamond. Dan, I am off on Monday.
Yeah, you are.
And Henry, I think, is filling in.
He is.
Now, I took Monday off because I was going to fly Sam back to L.A.
What a good father.
But Sam can't move into he's moving into the frat house.
Oh, no. Of course.
Now, you sound troubled that he's living in the fraternity house. Don't be troubled by
I love it.
Sam in the frat
And I'm
house.
slightly concerned, yes.
When Sam said he wanted to move into the frat house, I said no. I said, I think you should live in the dorm for another year. And he's like,
Dad.
Right. It was one of those. Like, whoa, like I spend all my time over there. I'm like, oh, boy. Bottom line for me is it is cheaper.
Okay, well, you
so
know.
there's the up, but they're
He
like,
should have led with that.
They're fumigating the place, or I don't know what they're doing
they are.
exactly, but he can't move in until Wednesday. So I'm like, why are we flying Why are we flying you out on Saturday? Like, we're just taking a tourist trip to L.A.? So we moved the flight. So I'm going to be here in town. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to sit at home and listen to the Henry Lake Show.
Perfect.
I don't want to come to work on Monday. Henry's standing right here. So I feel like if he's like, come to work, Darasha, get your butt to work. I don't know. Forget it. Have a good weekend.
If you need to sell a house and you want it done now.